Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the Garnet Sports Network. I am Kyle Condor, the Athletic Communications Assistant at Swarthmore, and today you're watching Swarthmore Baseball against number 21 ranked Johns Hopkins University. Today's game is a must-win for Swarthmore. If they win, they give themselves a chance to make the Centennial Conference Tournament and defend their conference title that they won in 2018. However, even with a win, they need Dickinson to beat Muhlenberg. That game is going on at the same time as this one. And we will be giving you updates throughout the game. I believe we'll also have some picture-in-picture going on here. Take a look at our dugout cam that we got going on today. We'll have 3 different angles for you. One from behind the catcher, one from center field, and one in the dugout. And as I said, we'll be giving you look-ins at the Muhlenberg-Dickinson game. That one's happening in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Shortstop, a 6'1" freshman from Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, number 7, Luke Mutz. He's 6'1". At second base, a 6-foot sophomore from Stony Brook, New York, number 6, Michael Seppi.
Zach Camp getting the start for Swarthmore today. He's a freshman. And he gets the leadoff hitter, Kutcher, to foul one down the third baseline for the first pitch of the game. Zach Camp has been getting a start here and there for Swarthmore over the past couple weeks as what they call an opener. He's not really expected to go too deep into the game. They will see if he can pitch a couple clean innings and then bring on a pitcher who is usually a starter. It's a model in baseball that's just being introduced to the game over the past few years. You're seeing some major league teams do it and several teams below that level as well. Swarthmore has done it for about the last 4 or 5 games. And it's been working for them. They have won 4 of their last 5 conference games, all using that model. As Kutcher grounds the shortstop, Mutz comes up with it, throws on the run, and Beaker scoops it at first base for an out. Mike Eberly stepping into the box for Hopkins. And he watches ball 1 go by. We've got a 1-1 count on Eberly. Three and 1 count now to Eberly. Camp looking to get through a clean first inning. As he walks Hopkins' number 2 hitter. In his last 2 outings, Camp has not allowed a run. He's pitched 5 innings in those 2 outings combined. Only allowed a couple of hits. Batting third for Johns Hopkins is number 33, Chris Festa. Runner on first now and 1 out. Camp from the stretch, deals to the plate, and gets Vesta to swing through the first pitch he sees. Camp gets Vesta to fly one deep to left field. Levitt at the warning track, at the wall, and he grabs out number 2. Eberle retreats to first base.
Now batting number 32, Nate Davis.
And Nate Davis digs in for Hopkins. Nate Davis has hit several home runs of late. I believe it was something like 9 in 2 weeks at one point. Won 2 straight Conference Player of the Week awards. And deservingly so. Camp from the stretch again. Davis cranks one deep to left field. This one is going to be out of here. That's another home run for Davis. He's got several of those this season. So Hopkins takes an early 2-0 lead. That's Davis's 14th home run of the season. The kid has been unstoppable over the second half of the season.
Now batting the right fielder, Chris DiGiacomo.
You're also going to have to manually input the hit into the one. And I don't know if that was a ball or straight.
1-1 count now to number 9, Chris DiGiacomo. Camp from the windup now. Falls behind 2-1 to the hitter. And that's strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and nobody on base. Camp hesitates and deals. DiGiacomo fouls one down the first baseline. Camp to the plate. Again, DiGiacomo ahead of the pitch and fouls it down the first baseline. Top of Hopkins' order is very dangerous. They've got 3 players with at least 11 home runs this season, and DiGiacomo is one of them. He skies this one high into the air. It looks like it's going to be in shallow center field. Gillen running in, makes the out. And we will head to the bottom of the first. Not the start Swarthmore was looking for, but they are a strong offensive team, so it's nothing that they cannot overcome. And you'll get a look at the dugout cam here in between innings. I will be right back as Holden Bridge will lead off for Swarthmore. And we're back on the Garnet Sports Network. Leading off for Swarthmore is number 17, a junior, Holden Bridge. He has held the Centennial Conference lead in batting average all season long. And he will face Brent Peterson, a Hopkins pitcher who has only pitched 3 innings all season. Hopkins having already clinched the number 1 seed in the Centennial Conference tournament, likely is not going to concern itself too much with this game. They're not going to burn out their best arms. Bridge grounds one hard to third base, but Ritchie makes a great play to get out number 1. I'm told the Blue Jays will be using a large committee of pitchers today, and it starts with a guy who, like I said, has only pitched 3 innings all season to date. Digging in for Swarthmore is Charlie Levitt, a senior looking to extend his career a few more games with the win here today. Levitt set the Swarthmore hits record on Saturday. He's up to 191 career hits. He broke a record that was set by Mike Waterhouse in 2012. Levitt also the all-time home runs leader at Swarthmore. He's tied with senior teammate Jackson Roberts. The two of them have 17 during their 4 years here. Levitt also has the triples record at Swarthmore, so very decorated player wearing the garnet today. And he's got a 2-1 count on him currently. Levitt swings at a high fastball there. It's 2-2. Levitt fights off a breaking ball to hold the count at 2-2. In Peterson's 3 innings this season, he has 2 earned runs. He only struck out 1 batter and allowed 5 hits. So not the most impressive line. Levitt swings through a breaking ball for strike number 3. And Peterson looks good so far through Swarthmore's top 2 batters.
Now batting the first baseman, number 23, Cole Beaker.
Cole Beaker is at the plate for Swarthmore. And he watches strike 1 go by. It was a breaking ball on Beaker. Beaker, too, climbing the Swarthmore ranks in every statistical category. Only a junior Beaker is. And he will take his base after getting hit by a pitch. So Swarthmore's got a runner aboard with 2 outs. And Jackson Roberts will hit now. It looks like Hopkins is going to make a pitching change already. So at the very, very, very first sign of struggle for Peterson, they pull the plug, and apparently the scouting report was right. We're going to see quite the committee from Hopkins today. In comes another Swarthmore, or Hopkins pitcher rather, that really hasn't pitched much this season. He's a freshman from Springfield, Ohio. It's Jacob Cave Stevens. He's only pitched 6 innings this year, so I'm not sure whether or not this is strategy to help Hopkins win or just something to get some guys work that don't normally get to throw that often, but it's happening. And Hopkins is using its second pitcher of the game in just the first inning. We'll give Cave Stevens a chance to warm up. And I will take a break as well. I'll be right back, and we'll have Jackson Roberts hitting with Cole Beaker at first base and 2 outs.
Batting for the Garnet, the designated hitter, Jackson Roberts.
Jackson Roberts will be the first to face Jacob Cave Stevens, a Johns Hopkins freshman. Cave Stevens in now what will be his 7th inning of work as a Hopkins pitcher in his college career.
I heard Coach was here, but now they're 2 players. Are they second or third?
And it's strike one. Just caught the corner. Again, Cole Beaker at first base with 2 outs. Hopkins using its second pitcher of the day already. And that's ball 1. So 1-1 count now to Roberts. Hopkins has 10 pitchers this season that have pitched at least 12 innings. Neither pitcher that they've used today is in that group. So perhaps they're just getting some of their younger guys some extra work in a game that doesn't mean much for them. That one's in the dirt and goes to the backstop, allowing Beaker to get to second base.
I know the guys were saying that they're gonna have the number 2 pitcher, like the one who was pitching.
So it's a 2-2 count on Roberts. And he's got a runner in scoring position now. So a base hit could bring Swarthmore within 1 run.
I know, but like at the same time, like that means that.
Been approached with a good point. Hopkins, if they lose this game, could face Swarthmore in the playoffs, and I'm not sure that's something they want to do. Swarthmore is a team with a lot of potential. So this game does mean something for them as Roberts fouls one back. The other 2 teams with a chance to make the playoffs currently playing each other. It's Muhlenberg and Dickinson. They're in the top of the second, and that game is scoreless. As Roberts takes ball 4 just off the plate outside, and now there are runners on first and second with 2 outs. And Jared Gillen, who's pretty hot of late, will have a chance to do some damage here, and Swarthmore could use it, already down 2-0. Swarthmore's entire lineup really has been just on fire. Gillen swings at the first pitch he sees and fouls it towards Swarthmore's dugout. As I mentioned, Swarthmore's lineup is red hot right now from top to bottom. Michael Seppi waiting in the on-deck circle. He batted nearly .570 last week in 4 games for Swarthmore. Hit a home run and 2 doubles. Went 9 for 16. But at the plate, it's Gillen. And there are 2 outs with runners on first and second. That one's off the plate. It's a 1-1 count.
I like that he keeps checking back at Cole, but like literally neither of the people are like there to Dick would be there to catch it if he saw it.
Cave Stevens to the plate. Gillen up the middle. Cave Stevens knocks it down, and nobody's going to be there to make the play. That'll be an infield single for Jackson Roberts. And the bases are now juiced for the hottest hitter in Swarthmore's lineup. It's sophomore Michael Seppi.
You're gonna want to clear the scoreboard and then put in Mike's over.
As mentioned, Seppi batted somewhere around .570 in 4 games for Swarthmore last week. He drills that one to the second baseman. He sticks with it and gets the force at second. So Swarthmore threatens but doesn't get a run on the board. And it's 2-0 Hopkins at the end of 1 inning. And it's the top of the second inning at Clothier Field. Junior Sawyer Lake on to pitch for the Garnet. Freshman Zach Camp pitched the first inning as an opener. And here is Sawyer Lake now. Lake gets the first batter he faces out on the first pitch he saw. Lake has really found his groove here. Had a rough middle of the season, but he's dropped his ERA down to 3.22. And it's a 1-1 count now.
And that was a ball.
Lake really just a few rough outings haunted the middle of his season, but he's had some great outings as well. Been one of the better pitchers for Swarthmore each of the past 3 seasons. It's now a 2-1 count to the hitter. And he grounds that one to third base. Connor Elliott, the sidewinding third baseman, fires that one over to Cole Beaker for out number 2. So Sawyer Lake cruising through the first 2 batters he faces today.
And that was the second out.
Now batting, it's number 36, Pete Manny. He fouls that one back. It's an 0-1 count.
Brandon, that was a strike.
Sawyer Lake is what they would call a strikeout guy. He leads Swarthmore in strikeouts again this year with 39. He led them his freshman season and his sophomore season as well in strikeouts. As he gets Manny to offer at that one, he's ahead in the count 1-2 now. Manny batting 8th for Hopkins. If you're going to beat the Blue Jays, you're going to want to retire the batters in the bottom of their order. Not that they're anything to laugh at, but the top of the order is amazing, and Sawyer Lake strikes out Manny, so he retires all 3 batters he faces, and we'll get Connor Elliott at the dish. Batting 7th today for Swarthmore, he'll come up in the bottom of the 2nd inning as his team trails 2-0 in a must-win game. Leading off the bottom of the 2nd inning for Swarthmore, it's Connor Elliott. He will face Jacob Cave Stevens, who is back out for the 2nd inning. He came on for 1 out in the 1st. Got out of a jam. Wasn't easy for him, but he did it. Swarthmore left the bases loaded in the bottom of the 1st. The Garnet lost their last game against Hopkins. That was last Tuesday in Baltimore. Swarthmore left a good portion of its runners on base in that one as well. They lost 7-6 in what was almost a big comeback for the Garnet. Connor Elliott facing a 1-2 count. Takes ball 2 outside. Cave Stevens, the pitcher for Hopkins, as mentioned, only pitched 6 innings this season entering today's game, and he's never had an outing longer than an inning and 2/3 in his freshman season. And he tries to paint the corner on Elliott, but does not get the call. It's full now on Elliott. And he fights off an inside pitch. You imagine that the plan for Hopkins is not to pitch Cave Stevens any more than the rest of this inning, as he really hasn't gone that long in any outing this season, but he also hasn't pitched that much this year. So Hopkins going with a rare committee today. He's now thrown 7 pitches to Elliott. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Be nice for Elliott to get on base for Luke Mutz, another hot hitter in Swarthmore's lineup, also batting over 500 of late. Elliott sends that one into right field. That's a seeing eye single. So he gets on as the leadoff hitter in the inning, and up to the plate is Swarthmore freshman Luke Mutz. Luke Mutz really on fire lately. And we're going to get another pitching change for Hopkins. We're going to see a lot of Blue Jays pitchers in this one. I'm not fully certain of the strategy that they're going with, but we'll just have to wait and see what they continue to do. It'll be Harrison Folk, another pitcher who really hasn't had all too much work this season, but 12 innings is a lot more than the last 2 pitchers we've seen. Cave Stevens struggled a little bit there. I believe it was 3 of the 4 batters that he faced got on base. So Harrison Folk on to pitch. Folk, a senior for the Blue Jays, with a 4.5 ERA. That's 6 earned runs and 12 innings pitched. He's allowed 15 hits. He struck out 3 guys and walked 2. Folk has only made, I believe, 3 appearances this season, none of them against conference opponents. Those appearances were 4.2 innings, 5 innings, and 2.1. So when he comes in, he's been expected to go longer into games, but his last appearance was on March 20th. So you imagine he's been doing a lot of bullpen work because he really hasn't seen any game action in well over a month. He's has to come on in a big spot here. His team has the lead, and there's a runner on first with no outs. Of course, Swarthmore needs to win today's game to make the conference playoffs, and they need Dickinson to beat Muhlenberg. Currently, there is no score in that game in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That game's at Muhlenberg. And Luke Mutz is batting now for Swarthmore. He watches strike 1 go by. Third base coach Brian Booth gives Connor Elliott the signs at first base. And ball 1 is low, so the count is even on Mutz. Mutz with another single, so Swarthmore will have runners now at first and third and nobody out. It'll be sophomore catcher Sam Jacobson that comes to the plate with a chance to do some damage. Jacobson has 18 RBIs this year in 78 at-bats. So he's been pretty good in these types of situations. And he offers it the first pitch he sees, sends it to shallow center field, and that one falls in. There was some miscommunication between the right fielder and the center fielder, allowing Connor Elliott to score on what I believe will go in the books as a Sam Jacobson single. So Sam Jacobson shows what can happen when you simply put a ball in play. I'm not quite sure what the miscommunication was. It looked like the center fielder had a chance to camp underneath of it, but the right fielder was coming on strong. But it works in Swarthmore's favor. As Holden Bridge will single as well. The hit parade continues. The throw will come to the plate, and Luke Mutz scores. So Swarthmore rallying to tie the game at 2 in the bottom of the second inning. Swarthmore not hitting the ball all too hard, but they are finding holes everywhere that the fielders are not. And it's Folk that is allowing hit after hit right now. Again, nothing hit too hard against him.
No, that was just the one, and it's a ball, and Charlie's up to hit, so at bat is 3.
Thank goodness. I'm here. Of course not.
A good pickoff attempt by Folk nearly gets Sam Jacobson leaning off of second base. He should probably stay closer to the bag here with nobody out. Really no reason to be leaning too far towards third base. So Charlie Levitt at the dish. One of the most dangerous hitters in the conference. It's a 2-0 count to Levitt. Hopkins using its third pitcher already. Levitt drills that one. The second baseman makes a great diving stop. He gets the questionable out at second base, but it works in his favor, the risky play that he made, as it goes down as a force out. So a great play by Lopez at second to get the force, and it looks like we're going to get another Hopkins pitcher in just the second inning. This will be the fourth one that we will see. On to pitch is Hopkins' fourth pitcher. That's right, number 4 in just the second inning of a game that really can't be considered too high scoring just yet. It'll be number 26, Jack Bunting, another senior. Bunting on the season has pitched a lot more than the first 3 guys that we've seen. So maybe this could be the guy that they're going to stick with. He's been great this year. 55 innings, 2.45 ERA. He's got 53 strikeouts in 55 innings pitched. It appears that he is their ace. He's pitched the most innings on the team, leads the team in strikeouts, has only served up 2 home runs. And I will take a break and come back as Swarthmore has runners on first and third, and one of the best hitters in Cole Beaker at the dish. So it's Cole Beaker coming to bat for Swarthmore, and he'll face Hopkins ace Jack Bunting in a big spot. So in just the second inning, we've already seen 6 pitchers in the game. 4 for Hopkins, 2 for Swarthmore.
He let up 2. He let up a home run. But the guy was really good.
So it's Charlie Levitt at first and Sam Jacobson on third. It's 2-2. And that's ball 2 to Cole Beaker. Cole Beaker checks his swing. Oh, whoa. And they say that he went. So it's a 2-1 count on Beaker, says the field umpire. And it's and that one's going to be a called strike on Beaker. So it's 2-2 count. Runners on first and third with 1 out. And Beaker goes down swinging. And power hitter Jackson Roberts steps up with a chance to give his team the lead. Muhlenberg is putting together a rally in their game. They're up 1-0 with some runners on base in the bottom of the third inning. Reminder, we need Muhlenberg to lose in order to have a chance to make the conference playoffs. Roberts gets a good piece of that one, but goes down as a foul ball, and it's now 2-0 Muhlenberg as a run has just been walked in. So now it's bases loaded with 2 outs in that game in the bottom of the third. Roberts swings through that one. It's an 0-2 count on the senior. Oh, 0-2 count. Bunting deals, and Roberts watches that one go by his face for ball 1. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Levitt swipes second base as it was wide open. Runners now on second and third for Roberts. Bunting taking a lot of time here to deliver a pitch. Another foul ball for Roberts. A hit here could score 2 runs for Swarthmore. They would be the go-ahead runs in this tie game. And Roberts is K'd up on a pitch that curved and just barely caught the outside corner of the plate. Roberts doesn't think that it did that. But nonetheless, it's a tie game at Clothier Field, and Sawyer Lake will be pitching again for Swarthmore in the top of the 3rd inning. It's the top of the 3rd inning at Clothier Field. You're watching the Garnet Sports Network. Lefty Sawyer Lake gets Lopez to dribble one to shortstop. Mutz is going to have to fire to first base, and he does to get the out. So Sawyer Lake has gotten 4 quick outs since entering the game in the top of the 2nd inning. And it's the leadoff hitter for Hopkins. Digging in, Tim Kutcher. Breaking ball misses off the plate. And that one's going to be called a ball as well. So Sawyer Lake dancing all around the plate with his first 2 pitches, but neither of them go in the book as a strike. Kutcher was retired in his first at-bat today. He grounded out to the shortstop. He fouls a pitch off there. It's 2-1. This part of Hopkins' lineup is dangerous. Lake fires a fastball at Kutcher, and it's fouled off again. 2-2 count. Good crowd on hand here today at Clothier Field. A must-win game for Swarthmore. Drew in some fans. Sawyer Lake, the windup and the pitch, low and inside. Full count now on Kutcher. Not really a guy you want to walk, but he's done plenty of that this season. He's got 30 walks on the year. 2nd on the team. He delivers that one in foul territory down the right field line. So he's battling. Next pitch will be the 8th of this at-bat. Lake had 10 pitches total against the first 4 batters he faced before Kutcher. So he will match his total on the day in just 1 batter. Yeah, it's another foul ball. So Kutcher with 5 foul balls in this at-bat. Really battling for a chance to get on first base. Kutcher with a .439 on base percentage this season. He is 4th on the team in that category. And he fouls another one off. So Now 9 pitches in this at bat. Really good battle by Kutcher. Lake not giving up. The count did start 2-0. And he fires a fastball high for ball 4. So now he'll face Mike Eberly, who walked in his first at bat and later scored on a home run. Eberly batting .355 this year with a .452 on base percentage. Lake from the stretch now. Delivers ball 1 high.
It's to allow, they were telling me about this, it's to allow for the Sunday so that if they had like a rain out or anything, they can have Sunday if they need it, which they did.
And another ball high. So Sawyer losing the strike zone here just a little bit. He's been high on a few fastballs. And that one will be a strike. So it's a 2-1 count. Swarthmore will empty the tank to win this game. And that's strike 2. You imagine Sawyer Lake will go as long as his abilities allow him to in this one. If Sawyer Lake can continue to throw scoreless innings, he'll continue to pitch for Swarthmore. But he faces a tough part of Hopkins' lineup currently. Another at bat with a good amount of pitches here. Mike Eberly working the count as well. It's even at 2-2 with a runner on first and 1 out. It's Kutcher at first. He got there via walk. And that one just off the outside of the plate. It's a full count on Eberly, looking to walk for the second time today. These Hopkins hitters can really battle. A lot of foul balls in this game to keep the count alive. Sawyer Lake could really use an out here, as you don't want to put runners in scoring position with Hopkins 3-4-5 hitters due up. He checks over on Kutcher at first base. It is an opportunity for Kutcher to steal with a full count, but with all the power that Hopkins has in the middle of its lineup, stealing is not always the best option. We'll see if he goes. He will go, and Eberly sends that one into the gap. Gillen over, Bridge over as well, and they get out number 2. So the ball was well struck by Eberly. Kutcher was indeed stealing, but there are now 2 outs, and Chris Festa comes to the plate. He flew out deep to left field in the first inning. Sawyer Lake from the stretch doesn't get the call there. It was close, but it goes down as ball 1. Lake would be thrilled to get Festa out here. You get through Hopkins 1, 2, 3 hitters without allowing a run. It's a big deal. Jacobson could not get the ball out of his glove, and Kutcher steals second. So now there's a runner on second with 2 outs and 2 balls and no strikes against Festa. Lake will take his time, step off. Lake to the plate. Festa lasers that one into right field, but it's right at Holden Bridge for the 3rd out. So good work by Sawyer Lake. You imagine he'll pitch again in the top of the 4th, but we'll wait and see as Swarthmore will get a chance to take a lead in the bottom of the 3rd inning. I'll be right back. Jared Gillen will face Johns Hopkins ace Jack Bunting in the bottom of the 3rd inning in a 2-2 game. Swarthmore has 5 hits in this one. Hopkins only has 1, but it was a big one. A no-doubter home run over the left field fence to give them a 2-0 lead in the top of the 1st. Jared Gillen watches strike 1 go by. Gillen fouls that one right off the catcher's mask. Looks okay. Gillen looks at strike 3. Hopkins pitcher's really painting that outside corner and getting the call every time. It's tough to tell from here exactly how close to the plate those pitches are. Michael Seppi, the Centennial Conference Player of the Week, takes ball 1. And it's a 1-1 count to Seppi, who's looking to get something going for Swarthmore. Correction, it's 2-0 to Seppi. Seppi skies that one into center field. It's high in the air. It's going to be a tough one for the Blue Jays, but the center fielder grabs out number 2. So Connor Elliott up to the plate for Swarthmore. He got the rally going in the bottom of the second with a leadoff single. Connor Elliott later came around to score Swarthmore's first run. Muhlenberg now has a 3-0 lead in their game. Swarthmore needs them to lose in order to at least have a chance to make the conference tournament. That game is in the bottom of the fourth as Connor Elliott singles to right field one more time. He's had a couple really good at-bats so far in this game.
Yeah, if he had made that play, that would have been a really good.
I believe that's the first hit Swarthmore has gotten off of bunting. And in steps another red-hot hitter. Can't say enough good things about. It's freshman Luke Mutz. He's had a really good freshman season for the Garnet. I haven't really looked around the league at freshmen of late, but you imagine Mutz's last couple of weeks batting close to 600 will throw him into the Rookie of the Year race. Mutz looked like he was going to bunt that pitch, but instead he pulls back and it's another strike. He's down 0-2. Mutz waves at that one and sends it into left field. He couldn't get out if he tried at this point. And it's runners on first and second with 2 outs. So Swarthmore getting a little 2-out rally going. Boy, Luke Mutz is on fire. He's now 2 for 2 today. He's had several multi-hit games over the past few weeks. In fact, that's 5 straight multi-hit games for Luke Mutz. Jacobson takes strike 1. Luke Mutz has 7 multi-hit games in Swarthmore's last 9. It doesn't get much more impressive than that. Sam Jacobson has a 1-1 count against him. The incredible thing is this is not Mutz's longest multi-hit game streak of the season. He had 6 games in a row with multiple hits during non-conference play earlier this season. So really just an impressive year for Mutz, the local kid from Strathaven. Jacobson grounds one to third, and the third baseman will take it himself to make the third out and prevent another Swarthmore rally. So at the end of 3, it's 2-2. And Ricky Conti, another one of Swarthmore's best pitchers, will take the mound. So you'll see we've got a little picture-in-picture going on for you. That's the work of Athletic Communications Director Brandon Hodnett. No idea how he does this stuff, but he's doing it, and you'll see that Muhlenberg is winning 3-0 in the top of the 5th inning in Allentown, Pennsylvania. We need them to lose, but Dickinson has not even come close to scoring in that one. And of course, we need to win. So it's not over yet, but things not currently working in Swarthmore's favor. They're looking to get into the Centennial Conference tournament. They made quite the run last year to win the tournament. You'll see here, senior pitcher Ricky Conti is on for the Garnet. He coming on in relief for Sawyer Lake, who threw 2 really good innings for the Garnet, but it doesn't look like that was enough to change the game plan. And Swarthmore continuing to go with its committee, no matter how successful its pitchers are throughout the game. So Conti walks the first batter he faces, and now he's facing Chris DiGiacomo, who skies one high into left field. Charlie Levitt camps under it for the first out. Levitt, a sure-handed left fielder. You almost never worry when the ball's hit to him. If it's in his range, he'll likely come up with it. And it's A.J. King, Hopkins' 6th hitter. Ball 1. Oh, strike 1 to King. And strike 2 to King. It's a 1-2 count. As Conti's ahead in the count, tried to get King to offer at a pitch out of the zone, but King did not. And now the count is even at 2-2. Conti from the stretch throws a pitch low and outside, and the count is full. So Conti was ahead 0-2 on King, but now the count is full. Conti, another one that really settled in towards the back end of this season. The runner was going on the pitch, but it's fouled off. So another long at bat from a Johns Hopkins hitter. It's Nate Davis at first, who was going with the count full, something you'll see often in baseball. Conti, and the hit and run works beautifully. King sends a pitch right to where the second baseman would have been able to make an easy play. But with Davis running, Seppi was not there. So it goes down as a single, and now Hopkins has runners on first and third against Conti with 1 out. Matt Ritchie fouls off the first pitch he sees. It's the number 7 hitter for Hopkins. He's got a chance to help his team get a lead. There's a chance for a double play here. Mutz makes a great play. Seppi on to first. That's about as big as a double play as you're going to see. And Mutz and Seppi have been great at doing that all year long. A player that will likely be a nominee for Rookie of the Year in the Centennial Conference. He's been hitting like crazy lately, makes an incredible play at the shortstop position to get Swarthmore out of a jam. So the game is still tied after 3.5 innings. And Hopkins will bring on a new pitcher. It's freshman Jack Tarantino. So their ace does great work, but they pull him from the game. And now Tarantino will try to continue to retire Swarthmore hitters. I'll be right back.
The Muhlenberg
Holden Bridge leading off for Swarthmore. We want to give a shout out to Frank Sammartino watching the game from overseas. He's studying abroad this semester. Not sure exactly where, but we're told he's in Spain. And he was what can be considered the lifeblood of this team last year. He was a character on the roster, to say the least. He coined the phrase, "I don't see why not," during their playoff run. And the team's recently brought that back. In fact, they had me make a poster for them with his face on it and the phrase, "I don't see why not." They have it hung up in their dugout. And it's given them some life. They've won a lot of games here over the past couple weeks. So Frank Sammartino still doing work for the Garnet, at least in spirit. Hope he's doing well. And it's Holden Bridge at the dish, facing a new pitcher for Hopkins. It's their fifth rather. It's their fifth pitcher already. He's a freshman. He's only pitched 2 innings all year, and he walks the first batter he sees today. Now batting, it's the left fielder, Charlie Levitt. Charlie Levitt gets hit by a pitch, something he did an awful lot last year, not quite as much this year. Maybe pitchers got the scouting report. And it's first and second with nobody out. And Cole Beaker digs in against the freshman Jack Tarantino. 2-0 count to Beaker. So Tarantino not throwing too many strikes so far. In fact, he's thrown, I believe it's 8 pitches now and just 1 strike thrown. And he'll get a visit from Hopkins' pitching coach. That is not their head coach, so he'll stay in the game. We will not see Johns Hopkins' 6th pitcher. Been told nobody's throwing in the Swarthmore bullpen, so Ricky Conti will get another shot to blank Hopkins in the 5th inning. There's a look at the Garnet dugout. Team looking to keep its season alive. But Muhlenberg is now winning 5-0 against Dickinson, so it's not looking good for Swarthmore. But as always, a win over Hopkins is one that the Garnet will appreciate a little more than the rest of their wins. Got a chance to split the season series with the Blue Jays today. The Garnet beat the Blue Jays 3 of 4 times last year after having not beaten them in like the 6 previous seasons. So Tarantino loads the bases with nobody out, and the dangerous Jackson Roberts comes to the dish, and he'll face Johns Hopkins' 6th pitcher of the game, because Tarantino will come out, and it'll be Josh Hedgeka, the senior sidewinder, who we've seen here before. Jackson Roberts coming to bat with the bases loaded and nobody out in a tie game against Johns Hopkins. Dickinson getting smoked by Muhlenberg in Allentown. It's 7-0. That's not good for the Garnet, who need Muhlenberg to lose. Or I'm sorry, yes, who need Muhlenberg to lose. So Dickinson was at one point leading the conference. They were in first place, and I believe now they've lost. It will be their 7th loss in a row. One-on-one count on Roberts. Might have seen our players enjoying today's dugout cam as Hedgeka was warming up. Jackson Roberts fouls that one off. It's a 2-2 count.
I like when you step back and just all three of our guys just go. Like their base.
Roberts lines that one to second base, and the second baseman drops it. They'll ultimately get the force out at third. You wonder, I can't imagine he dropped it on purpose. So a run will score on what will go in the books as a fielder's choice.
But was it an error? Is the question.
Jared Gillen grounds that one past the second baseman into right field. Cole Beaker rounds third, and he's coming home. He'll score. So the Garnet now have a 2-run lead.
No. That was a hit, yeah. But the one before was an error.
Seppi grounds that one into right field for a base hit. So the bases are loaded again. And the Garnet are piecing together a solid rally here.
Alright, do you want me to follow the ball that the guy on third? I was just following the
Follow
ball.
the ball out and then
That's what I was trying to do if he had like thrown home.
Connor Elliott, 2 singles already today. One here would give Swarthmore a comfortable lead.
It's like one parent and they'll come talk.
One parent per game just goes like, who was it that someone came? I think it was on in a baseball game. They came to us and were like, "This is how you pronounce the name."
Connor Elliott dribbles that one down the third baseline
Brandon, did I tell you?
for a foul ball. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
At the Dickinson game last time, like I was taking pictures and I was like behind the like netting because I didn't want to go to the opening because the girl was, a righty, so she would have hit it at me. And he comes up to me and
Elliott drills that one to center field, and the merry-go-round continues. Roberts scores. The bases are loaded again. Connor Elliott is 3 for 3 today.
yeah. Anyway, he comes up to me and he goes like this. He goes, there's a opening right there. He gets up super close to me, like grabs me, and I like have a bruise right there from it. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, I'm just not gonna come over to this side and take pictures at all.
It's a really nice pitch by Hedgeka to find the outside corner of the plate for strike 1. Luke Mutz has been a dangerous hitter here for Swarthmore today and over the past few weeks. He drills that one at the second baseman. That's not going to be an easy play, but they make the play, and get the force out at second base. Try to turn two and do not. So Mutz will get an RBI on a fielder's choice. And Swarthmore has a 6-2 lead.
Should I try to zoom in on your balcony after this?
Yeah, sure, that'd be good.
Jacobson pops that one to the first baseman, and Nate Davis makes a heck of a play. An over-the-shoulder catch. That's the final out of the fourth inning. But Swarthmore did a lot of damage there, and they have a 6-2 lead at the end of 4 innings. It'll be Ricky Conti on the mound again for the Garnet in the 5th inning. I'll come back in a moment. So Ricky Conti back out for Swarthmore. Throws a ball. That's a 1-2 count on Manny. Manny sends that one to right field. Holden Bridge camps under it for the out.
If there's one thing I do like, I mean, if I
This has to be, I mean, this has to
I need
be a
5
tough
baseball
feeling
cards.
to like know it's your last game.
Yeah.
Like we've been pretty fortunate, like we made it to the conference championship or the conference tournament last both years. So like you never knew when you were
Right.
It's a 1-1 count to Lopez. This is the 9th hitter for Hopkins.
Listen, do you know whose dog that is?
Hmm?
Do you know whose dog that is?
The big dog.
Yeah, the Burmese mountain.
Yeah, it's Owen's dog. Owen Webb.
That's my favorite.
Maggie. I don't know if she's standing up. She was pooped earlier. She was just like laying there.
And that's strike 3. So Conti cruising along here. And now he'll face the leadoff hitter, Tim Kutcher. 1-1 count to Kutcher. Conti from the windup blows strike 2 past him. And that's ball 2. So the count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Nobody warming up in the pen for Swarthmore. And Conti worked ahead in the count, but walks Kutcher. Kutcher, a very patient hitter. Second walk of the day. Mike Eberly now digging in.
I love it when like Sam kind of messes up with the ball and it like dribbles in front, but he like stares down the runner. You know what I'm talking about?
Ricky deals the first pitch high
Dare you to run.
to Eberly.
Pick it up and throw it. So look, I just love it. I think it's hilarious. Have you seen it though, Josh? Okay, you'll look for it now.
There's kind of a picture of it that I got once. I think it's as one of the covers or whatever, and it's just up close on his mask. And he's just like,
Oh, I think that was him. Love is a
So a 2-1 count on the hitter.
look at the dream.
Conti pitching from the stretch with a runner on first and 2 outs. Looking to preserve a nice size lead for the Garnet. Kutcher's running. Jacobson fires one in a good spot down to second, but the runner got there in time. So, runner in scoring position.
2 and 2. So just oh, I need to widen this. I thought you couldn't. I never understand what a balk is. People have tried to explain it to me.
What a what?
A balk.
A ball. It's like when you like,
But I thought you couldn't pick up your knee like he did.
You can't start going forward towards, and it's different for righties and lefties too. It's weird.
What is it, Mom?
It's like when you pretend to pitch, but you throw it to.
And Conti strikes out another hitter. So, Conti cruises through 2 innings, and it'll be Holden Bridge leading off for Swarthmore in the bottom of the 5th. They have a 6-2 lead. Holden Bridge at the dish. He takes a strike, the first pitch he sees. It's still Josh Hedgeka pitching for Hopkins as Bridge hits a shot to right field, but it's right at DiGiacomo for the out. And now it's Charlie Levitt coming to the plate.
You know what I just thought of? It's the last game. If one of them gets a home run, it's their crown. So who's it's gonna be?
And we're going to get another pitcher for Hopkins. It'll be their 7th pitcher of the game in just the 5th inning. This is unlike anything I've ever seen before. It'll be senior John Donahue. So it's Charlie Levitt at the dish to face John Donahue. Looks like Muhlenberg is running away with a win at Dickinson. So that would eliminate Swarthmore from making the playoffs and defending their Centennial Conference title. But does not mean Swarthmore is going to just lay down and let Hopkins come back to win this one.
So that means as freshmen and sophomores, they only had a few.
Levitt laces a single up the middle. And there's now a runner on with one out, and Cole Beaker is digging in.
Both hit so many home runs, and I had a like drunk epiphany. I was like, you both have number threes. Because he's a number 3 and Jackson 3-3. You're not 21. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Were you in a
Completely
different
sober.
country? Were you in a country that allows
No.
drinking at
I
the
was
age of 18?
drunk
Were you
on
in
life.
Colombia?
I was drunk on life.
Ah, there it is.
Cole Beaker takes strike one.
Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes I'll talk with like other adults about like
Cole Beaker's also really good.
drinking and like when I went out like and did whatever because my parents are so chill with it. Then I forget that other adults are not okay with that. And I'm like, oh, stop talking.
So Beaker behind 0-2, and he swings through strike three.
Unless it's my friends. But back home, there's just like. I mean, I've been.
Yeah, but I
Even for like a year
Jackson Roberts digs in. Charlie Levitt swipes second base. I want to go in the books as a wild pitch.
Oh my gosh, did you see that this game when he stole second and then third and then came home? That was crazy. I saw the highlights.
Roberts
Brandon,
fouls the ball off. I believe Jackson Roberts leads the team with 7 home runs this season. Yeah, that's correct. Jackson Roberts leads the team with 7 home runs. Charlie Levitt has 5. Cole Beaker also with 5 this year. Those are your 3 leaders. Roberts swings through that one. Both Levitt and Roberts have 17 career home runs. So we've got a little Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa-like battle going on here in-house for the Garnet. If one of them hits a home run today, they'll be the home run king at Swarthmore. This is likely the team's last game of the season. They may try to squeeze another non-conference game in. Knowing Jackson Roberts, personally, I can assure you that he knows exactly how many home runs he has in his career. So, I'm not sure if he's thinking about it at the moment, but Donahue from the stretch with a runner on second and 2 outs. Throws a very nice curveball that Roberts swings through for strike 3. So, Swarthmore still ahead 6-2, but they're blanked in the 5th inning. It'll be the top of the 6th inning. And Oliver Hicks, a freshman, on to pitch for Swarthmore. So it's Oliver Hicks pitching for Swarthmore in the top of the 6th. That one's dribbled to first base, but it'll be foul. Hicks, a hard-throwing pitcher, evens the count at 2-2. It's number 33, Chris Festa, that he's facing. Festa goes down swinging. And it's the power hitter,
Now batting number 32,
Nate Davis, that will bat for
Oh God, is he gonna say something? I'm quiet.
Made an executive decision. We're going to get a new PA system in.
Okay.
It's off. It's going to be named after you.
I'll take it. Kyle said before, he's like, when you're a doctor, you make a donor enough to put a new PA system. I said, if you need a new PA system 5 years from now, we have a bigger problem.
Ooh, Hicks hits Nate Davis. Davis was, I want to say crowding the plate, but wasn't far from it either.
Now batting number 9, Chris DiGiacomo.
You hope Davis is okay. He's arguably the best hitter in the conference. Now it's going to be Chris DiGiacomo batting for the Blue Jays. Hicks checks on the runner at first base. No, Dickinson needed us to lose, yeah. So 2-0 count now against DiGiacomo. DiGiacomo swings at that one, crossed him up a little bit. Pitch was inside. Well, it might have hit him, but Hicks from the stretch fires that one in high. It's a 3-1 count now. Hicks very concerned about Davis at first base.
Oh yeah.
Fouls that one back. It's full count now on the hitter. And that'll be ball 4. So there's runners on first and second now with one out. And A.J. King
Now batting number 10, AJ King.
is coming to the plate for Hopkins, but it looks like Swarthmore head coach Matt Midkiff will make a pitching change. Wouldn't be surprised if we see junior Jack Corkery come out of the bullpen for the Garnet. Not sure what the plan is today. Does not look like Corkery. Instead, it's Ryan Warm.
Coming to the mound for the Garnet, number 19, Ryan Warren.
Ryan Warm in for the Garnet in a tough situation. There are runners on first and second with just one out. That one served into right field. It's going to be a tough play for Bridge, but he gets there and fires the ball in. Showed off a nice arm there. Holden Bridge has done just about everything this season. He's been a great hitter. Now the leadoff hitter for Swarthmore, and he's been a sure-handed right fielder. So Ryan Warm gets an out against the first batter that he'll face today. And Warm ahead 0-2. Looking to get the third out of the inning and work Swarthmore out of a bit of a jam. Garnet hold a 4-run lead. So a run or two won't kill them, but you prefer to get out of it without allowing any runs. And that curveball drops in. Boy, that looked awfully good. That one's fouled off. So the count holds at 1-2.
I'm not seeing any weather. Yeah, that's true.
Ritchie sends that one into left field. Mutt's going back, Levitt coming in, makes the out, and Warm comes in and gets Swarthmore out of a jam. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 6-2 Garnet. Leading off the bottom of the 6th for Swarthmore's Jared Gillen, and he offers at the first pitch he sees and pops out to right field. Now batting is the Centennial Conference Player of the Week, Michael Seppi. Sophomore having a really good season. Swings through the first pitch he sees from John Donahue. Seppi swings at that one, but it's in the dirt. He almost got to first base safely, but that's out number 2. And the red hot Connor Elliott will be up next for Swarthmore. He's 3 for 3 today. See if he can get his 4th hit of the game. Elliott among the all-time leaders in hits at Swarthmore. And we're going to see Johns Hopkins' 8th pitcher of the game. That I can say I've personally never seen that many pitchers in a game, at least not at this level. Usually when you see that many pitchers, it means that the score is out of hand. If you didn't know the score, you might think it was 25-2 based off of how many pitchers Hopkins is using, but Swarthmore has used 4 as well, so 12 pitchers combined. Perhaps the two schools are going for a Guinness World Record or something. And I'll take a break and come back after senior Preston Betts is done warming up.
That it'd be here. It'd probably be for a team that's like in another conference waiting to wanting a game before their tournament or something.
Connor Elliott at the dish. Fouls that pitch off. It's a 1-2 count now on Elliott. There is no one on, and 2 outs. As Elliott watches strike 3 go by, so he's retired for the first time today. And there are 6 innings in the book at Clothier Field. The Garnet leads 6-2. So it's the top of the 7th. Jack Corkery on to pitch for the Garnet. And that one's deep to left field. Levitt going back. And as he usually does, he makes a great play in left field. So Manny gave it a ride, but Levitt flagged it down for the first out of the inning. Corkery statistically has been Swarthmore's best pitcher this season. He's been very reliable. He was the team's trusty closer last season, but after seeing the stuff that he had, it was hard not to make him a starter this year, so that's what Midkiff did. We've got a pinch hitter here for Hopkins. It's number 3, Adam Cole. He fills in the number 9 spot in the Hopkins order. Corkery blows strike 3 by Cole, and that's 2 down for the Blue Jays. Leadoff hitter Tim Kutcher digs in now. I believe he's walked in each of his last 2 at-bats.
Now batting number 18, Tim Kutcher.
Yeah, that is not doing it.
Now,
Corkery blows that pitch by Kutcher. Kutcher swings right through it. This season, Corkery has a 2.13 ERA. It leads all of Swarthmore's, I guess you could call them their regular pitchers. Of course, they have a few guys who have pitched 3 appearances each. Give them a shout out. Adam Shower, Matt Loomis, and Kyle Jones-Shaw all have pitched to shiny ERAs, but have pitched less than Corkery, who's through another shutout inning. He strikes out 2 and holds Hopkins scoreless in the top of the 7th, so the Garnet now have a strong hold on a 6-2 lead after 6.5 innings. Digging in, it's Garnet freshman Luke Mutz. He has been shining, batting 8th for the Garnet all season really, but he's gotten very hot of late. Again, he's really made a case for Centennial Conference Rookie of the Year. But he's behind 0-2 currently. Mutz fouls that one back. And the count holds at 0-2. That one's way inside. Mutz could have wore that pitch, but preserved his body by getting out of the way. That one drops in for strike 3. That was a very nice pitch by Betts to get Mutz looking. Betts and Mutz. That's fun. Jacobson, the catcher, a sophomore, in the 9th spot for Swarthmore today. Had a pretty big hit earlier in this game. He swings at the first pitch he sees and fouls that one off. It looks as if there was some sort of catcher's interference on the play. At least that's what I have to imagine was the case, because he did offer at the pitch, so it couldn't have been a hit by pitch. Bridge drills that one into the left center field gap. The left fielder makes an incredible attempt at it, but alas, Bridge is on second with a double. That was a rocket by Holden Bridge. Bridge is a big-time singles hitter, but he could put him in the gap every now and then. And Charlie Levitt will get a chance to drive in some runners. Levitt definitely has been one of the best players in the conference this season, both hitting and in the field. Hopkins brings its infielders in. Looks like they're trying to stop Swarthmore from scoring runners from third. Usually when you play your infielders back, it means that you are just going to surrender and let up a run. But down 4 runs, Hopkins trying to salvage the game. If Levitt hits the ball on the ground in the infield, we will see maybe a play at the plate. Depends whether or not Jacobson will be running. Levitt fouls that one back. It's 1-2. Levitt sits on that curveball. It was a good pitch, but a good hitter is able to fight a pitch like that off. The count holds at 1-2. Looks like this is just going to be a mound visit. Usually when it's an assistant coach, it means the pitcher's not coming out of the game. Charlie Levitt swings through strike 3. And it'll be Cole Beaker up for Swarthmore with runners on second and third. The fielders for Hopkins can now play their normal depth because all they need to do is get one out at first base to end the inning without allowing a run. But Beaker, a good hitter, can add to his Swarthmore record RBI lead with a hit here. Beaker skies that one out of play. So it's a 2-1 count now on Beaker. Runners on second and third, 2 outs. It's Bridge on second after he hit a double, and Jacobson off third. I believe he reached on a catcher's interference. Beaker dribbles that one back to the pitcher, and that'll be an easy out at first base. So it remains 6-2, as it has for a good majority of this game. And it'll be Jack Corkery on to pitch the 8th again for Swarthmore. Jack Corkery still pitching for the Garnet, facing Hopkins' second hitter, Mike Eberly. Corkery falls behind 3-0 on the leadoff hitter in top of the 8th inning. And that's a strike on Eberly. 3-1 count. Eberly hits a ball hard right at Jared Gillen in center field. And that's first out of the 8th inning. Chris Festa will come up to bat next for the Blue Jays.
It feels way cold at like 60 degrees. I can wing a presentation.
Festa hits that one deep. Opposite field, Levitt tries to rob it but does not get it. That's a home run. So Hopkins has 3 hits today, and 2 of them are home runs. It's the only way they've scored in this one, and it's 6-3 Swarthmore.
Now batting number 32, Nate Davis.
No, I don't think I had 9 presentations. This presentation was like just me or one other person, me and a partner. But there are 4 of us. I hate paper.
What class?
This guy's literally sitting on the plate. He's literally like
What class?
P1.
What's yours on?
It's Nate Davis, hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. Faces a 1-1 count here against Corkery. Corkery tries to drop a breaking ball in, but it hangs up there for ball number 2. Festa's home run was the first that Corkery has allowed all season. He's now pitched. It's going to be 40 innings if he can finish this one. Just 1 home run allowed. Pretty impressive. And he strikes out the conference's home run leader in Nate Davis.
Now batting number 9, Chris DiGiacomo.
Another power hitter. There are several of them in Johns Hopkins lineup. Chris DiGiacomo batting 5th today.
They literally have a 42-person roster.
And a 1-1 count now on DiGiacomo from Jack Corkery. He is the 5th, might be the 6th pitcher Swarthmore's used. I'm losing count at this point. Hopkins has also used, I believe, 8 of them. Game started at 3:30. I think it's more cloudy than it is dark out. Usually doesn't get dark till around 7:30. So I don't think that's going to be an issue here today. It's a little bit more chilly than it's been over the past few weeks. Corkery fires a strike. Corkery pitching from the stretch with nobody on. It's not something you see often, but must be what he's comfortable with. Batter calls time. So full count, 2 outs. Corkery deals. That one just misses the outside corner for ball 4. So DiGiacomo walks.
Now batting
And it'll be A.J. King
number 10, AJ King.
to the dish for Hopkins. So 2-0 count on King. Corkery now behind 3-0 on King. And that's a 4-pitch walk. So runners now on first and second with 2 outs. And the tying run comes to the plate. It's Matt Ritchie. Ritchie has just 1 home run this year, so it's not likely that he'll tie the game, but just never know. Matt Midkiff will come out to chat with Corkery. Been told that senior relief pitchers Charles Grappi and Zach Gonzalez are both warming up in the Swarthmore bullpen. Could be the last time that this senior class plays at Clothier Field. We know now that they will not make the playoffs because Muhlenberg is beating Dickinson 10-1 in the top of the 9th inning with 2 outs. We needed Dickinson to win that game to make the playoffs, but that's not going to happen. There is always a chance that Swarthmore head coach Matt Midkiff will schedule a non-conference game sometime later this week, but nothing yet on that. There's no telling whether or not it will be at Clothier Field or somewhere else. So 2-1, 2 outs, runners on first and second. Corkery deals. That's a strike. Put that in a good spot. Full count now with 2 outs. That would mean the runners will be going on the pitch from first and second. So there'll be some movement on the bases as Corkery delivers. And he blows that one past Ritchie for strike 3. Corkery never afraid to show emotion, pumps his fist there as he walks off the mound. Swarthmore team is riled up. Connor Elliott pumped up, yelling from the dugout in what could be his last game at Clothier Field. And we're also getting some chatter from Swarthmore head coach Matt Midkiff. Jackson Roberts leading off the bottom of the 8th inning for Swarthmore. Could be their last at-bats at Clothier Field this season. As mentioned earlier, Roberts and Levitt, two seniors on the team, currently tied with a Swarthmore record 17 home runs. So perhaps Jackson has that in the back of his mind. Roberts does not offer at that one.
Are you still connected to the internet?
And it's full count on Roberts. It's still Preston Betts pitching for the Blue Jays. Roberts sends that one deep to left field. That one could go, and it does. Jackson Roberts is now the all-time home run leader at Swarthmore College. That's the 18th of his career. And he's pumped up. He's got 8 this season. He hit a Swarthmore record 10 last year. So, in what may be the last at-bat of his career, Swarthmore senior designated hitter Jackson Roberts is pumped up in the dugout with 18 career home runs, a Swarthmore record. Gillen grounds one deep to third base. Ritchie makes the long throw over to first for the out.
All-time home run leader.
Yeah.
By one.
Can you hear it at all?
I can barely hear you. Yeah. The music I can hear.
He's by one. Charlie and him are tied.
So if Charlie gets up again, another chance.
That'd be funny. That'd be really funny.
That would be amazing.
They schedule one more game this week.
Yeah.
One and two count now on Michael Seppi. Who fouls that one out of play. Seppi grounds that one to the first baseman for the second out. And it's Connor Elliott that'll dig in now for the Garnet.
Yeah, I'm sure someone told
That's why they're not as loud. Right?
foul ball.
Yeah, because I know they were saying like they're
Connor Elliott already with 3 hits today. Fouls off the first pitch he sees. Elliott fists that one foul. And Elliott looks at that one. That's looked a little bit off the plate there, but it's strike three. So we'll head to the top of the ninth. It'll be Jack Corkery out to pitch again for the Garnet, trying to preserve a 4-run lead in the team's last conference game of the season. Jack Corkery deals a curveball for strike one against Manny. And he punches that one foul. It's 0-2. And that's strike three. So Corkery strikes out another batter. And it will be Adam Cole, who pinch hit a couple innings ago.
Now hitting for Hopkins, number 3. Adam Cole. Oh, that one I was in the bathroom.
Cole wraps that one into left field. That's a base hit.
Yeah, batting number 8.
And batting again today is the leadoff hitter, Tim Kutcher. Two 0 count now on Kutcher. And that one's in there for a strike. So it's a 2-1 count now. Kutcher drives that one to left field, and it just goes foul by a few feet. So good at bat here for Kutcher. He's had a few good at bats today. He's seen a lot of pitches from the Garnet pitchers, and Corkery gets another strikeout. So he's been great in the few innings he's pitched today. Corkery's been great all season, really. Eberly sends that one into the gap, but it's cut off by Gillen, who fires a throw toward third base. Gillen put a little too much on that one, but Corkery was there to back up the throw.
Yeah, it's not an error because nobody moved off of it.
Corkery drops in a curveball, but a little too low there. It's ball one. And that'll be ball two. It's 2-0 count now to Nate Davis. Correction, it's Chris Festa at the dish. He can definitely hit the ball a mile. And that will catch the corner for a strike. It's a 3-1 count now. Corkery gets another strike there on the hitter. And that's strike three. So Corkery gets 3 outs this inning, all via strikeout. And the Garnet will make our dreams come true with a win over Johns Hopkins University, the number 21 ranked team in the country. And the Garnet end the season with quite the run. They won 5 of their last 6 conference games, but they fall just short of the conference playoffs with a 10-8 conference record. They are 23-12 this season. And Jackson Roberts in today's game hit his Swarthmore record 18th home run. We're not sure whether or not the Garnet will play another game this season. There is always the possibility they will play a non-conference game, but if they don't, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us on the Garnet Sports Network this year. I am Kyle Condor, signing off from Clothier Field.